It's a common sense recap of the big stories. It's Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
Well, calling in right now is Governor Doug Burgum from the great state of North Dakota. And I understand you're heading to Pennsylvania because that's a key state. Governor, fill us in. Where the heck do you think we are?
Well, John, always great to be with you. Great to see you at that fabulous event at Madison Square Garden last weekend. But yes, on my way to Pennsylvania tonight, be there this weekend, and then also hitting Wisconsin and Michigan. So hitting all three of those swing states between now and midnight on Monday night. But I was just in those states recently, heading back again, my third or fourth trip for some of those locations. And I tell you, the momentum, whether it's the auto workers in Michigan, energy workers in Philadelphia, or college kids on campuses, I've never seen so much momentum for President Trump. This is different than 2016, different than 2020, and I'm feeling very good about where the momentum is headed right now for President Trump.
And, I don't understand the polls being at 50-50 because nothing's going to change, and people are not happy. I mean, they used to pay $2 a gallon for under President Trump, and then it went as high as $5 a gallon. And right now they have to decide, do we want to pay $2 a gallon going forward, or do we want to pay $5 a gallon going forward? And the price of food is up. I mean, what are these people thinking?
Well, you're right, John. All of the you can line up all of these liberal, Nobel Prize winning economists, all the pundits on all the mainstream media, and they can all, talk about how close racist is, and then you go out and talk to real Americans. 70% of Americans think that America's on the wrong track, and they, of course, accurately believe that Kamala was part of the reason we are on the wrong track, because she was the last person in the room. For Afghanistan, that horrible decision. She's been involved in let's ban fracking. 80% of America's energy now, oil and gas, comes from horizontal drilling and fracking. Fracking's not a bad thing. It's a new technology that allowed this country to go from being an energy importer to an energy exporter. It saved America, and she's against 80% of that. If she banned fracking in places like Pennsylvania, we would be importing oil again from our adversaries. And so when you're on these college campuses, there's 400 kids that are there, and I say, would you rather graduate into a Kamala economy or a Trump economy? And 400 college kids all yelling Trump, Trump, Trump. I mean, these folks that want to start their careers, go start business, the high interest rates, the open borders, the economic policies, they know that Harris has been, helping to kill the American dream, and they want President Trump.
And I just don't understand, because she hasn't said she's going to change anything. And the biggest problem is the border is leaking. We're having tens of thousands of people, to a million of people coming through, and a lot of them are criminals. A lot of them are murderers. Yes. I mean, how can you put these murderers into Pennsylvania or put them into New York? I mean, it's crazy.
Well, it is, and it makes no sense whatsoever. And I think, again, the American people understand that whether it's the economy, the border, national security, President Trump, and for the people that are older than these college kids, they remember what it was like under President Trump. They remember that their real income was higher. They remember that interest rates were lower. They remember that, the food on their table, the gas in the car, and the clothes on their back were all cheaper. They remember that. And I believe that's where they're going to vote on Election Day. Very encouraged by the early voting. If any of your listeners out there haven't yet voted, now's the time to do it, because I think there's going to be a big turnout on Tuesday. And, get out there early. And it's great to see the support for President Trump that's coming through the early voting.
And what I say is, I'm an immigrant. I am pro-immigration. But you can't let criminals in. You can't let murderers in. And enough is enough. And I think that's the bottom line. And I don't think anything's going to change if Kamala Harris is elected.
Well, I agree with you on that. I don't think anything's going to change. You got to ask she got thrown so many softballs. What you do differently? And when the answer is, I can't think of one thing. I think the election was over at that moment, and I think it was one of her few honest answers. So it is I'm excited for Tuesday. It's great to see so many people out supporting President Trump and across such a broad group. I mean, Democrats, Independents, Republicans, everybody you can imagine. Anybody who has worked for a living and is in retirement, anybody who's working now, anybody that wants to work, they're for President Trump. His policies lift up everybody. They're not targeted at one demographic. His policies lift up everybody. Lower interest rates, lower prices, more jobs, lower energy prices. That helps everybody. And people are figuring that out. And I think Tuesday is going to be a fun night for President Trump. And with him, I hope he pulls along the Senate and the House. Harris and Biden have made such a mess. President Trump can fix it.
Thank you for helping save America, and that's what we want to do. We want common sense to prevail. Thank you so much, Governor.
Absolutely.
And stay safe in
Pennsylvania
and convince the people that common sense has to prevail.
Will do. Thank you.